shame. It's a shame the way they hurt me. It's a shame the way they hurt me. But I had to get through and tell my story and get my victory and give God the glory. Give God the glory. Yeah, that's what I do. Give God the glory. He already knew my story. Look at me. Can't you see? Victory. Victory. No more shame in this game. No more shame. No more shame in this game. Welcome to Why Should I Be Ashamed? I'm Sheila Calvert, your host for tonight's conversation. I'm the author of the book, Why Should I Be Ashamed? I'm not ashamed. I tell you, I'm not ashamed. This is our reality. Would you do me a favor tonight as we get ready to combo with you? Would you please like and share? I hear Facebook is saying we can't do any more watch parties. I don't know. Start a watch party if you will, and we will be right back ready to rumble. We are back. Welcome back. Listen, tonight we are no excuse. We are without excuse. You are without excuse. I know that some of us have experienced rape, sexual abuse, all kind of abuses, but tonight I want to encourage you that you can live this life. You have destiny. You have opportunities, but you have to get up. There's no excuse for any of us. If I can make it, if I can take it, I'm here to declare in your life, in your spirit, that you can make it. You can get up from there. I want to thank you all for your book purchases, for coming in, for sharing on your pages, for getting everybody aware that there's a girl and there's a team of people. We're out here talking about a conversation that nobody wants to talk about it. I know the trial of George Floyd is going on. I know that we're in a pandemic. I know that we have suffered some loss and family loved ones, and life keep going on. But I really believe that I'm on a mission and I have to be consistent. Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, in spite of all of our hurt and pain, yet we have strength to move on. So I want to encourage you, no excuses. We can't get through life just making excuses, because oftentimes we feel like what happened to us give us an excuse to quit, to fail. So tonight I want to talk about our failures versus our success. Our failures versus our success. What does that mean tonight? I think it means a lot of different things to different people, and I have a few questions. And if you have some questions, please send them to us, and let's get right into it. Now, listen, failures, a lack. As I looked through Webster's, it had many, many, many definitions, but lack of effort is what really hit me the most. And I'm a person, I have failed at everything. I've had salons and salons. I don't know why we call it a failure if we opened the salon and it worked and we worked and we accomplished our goal and then we move to the next thing. But when we close things, and oftentimes the end of things, we'll say that's a failure. But the world says the lack of success, the omission of an expected or required action. I call failure doing nothing. That's how I look at it. How can you fail when you get up every morning and you make that attempt and you're driven and you have passion and you go out and you seek? And so, yeah, some doors are closed, some opportunities may not be available to us, but when you got up, that lets you know right then you were successful. I have failed at many things, but I don't feel that I'm a failure when it comes to being successful. But oftentimes I hear women or I hear family members talk about some of their loved ones that have been sexually abused. This topic, this why should I be ashamed, is everything sexual abuse. But they talk about how their sisters and brothers don't want to get out of bed, they don't want to move forward, that they make that experience they're in, it's like they don't feel they can achieve anything, they don't feel like anyone accepts them anymore, they just feel like they're all washed up, it's like it's a dead end. But I come to tell you that you can get up from there. Failure is also failure to thrive when you grow up, failure to not grow. So, how do we grow? We grow every day. Every day we grow. We read, we study, and you have to you have to have a mindset to develop yourself, to continue to grow, not to stay in that place. I know women that are in their 50s and they want to um, it's like they stop growing emotionally wherever that sexual abuse happened. If it was 5 6, they want to go back to that 6-year old. They always want to gravitate to being a child. They want to play with Mickey Mouse. Look, I want to go to Disney World too, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they always want to gravitate to a place where it's like, I don't want to get up, I don't want to take no more steps forward, they just want to stay here. But you have to keep moving, and I want to encourage you to keep moving. Just because you have experienced sexual abuse, you still should not fail to launch. You have to move forward. Failure does not mean your ideals or your dreams are invalid. A lot of times we have dreams, we have opportunities, and sometimes when they don't go all the way out or they don't pan all the way out the way that we want them to, we deem ourselves as a failure. But I come to tell you, just because you launched it out, just because you did it, you're not a failure. So don't be afraid to launch. Just step out there. Step out there with your faith. Do it again. Like Nike say, just do it. I say do it again. Somebody got you. Somebody got you. Many times I've seen sexual abuse victims feel that their experience is the end of their life. Our prisons are full of sexual abuse victims. Our You see a lot of people are homeless people. They just got tired of fighting because in this life we have to fight. Even those that you deem successful, they still have to get up every day. They still have to get up and put themselves out there. So get up. Um, it's not a death sentence. It don't have to be a death sentence, and you can make a choice to live or quit. It's hard work. It is your choice. And also, what I find that when you speak with them, it seems like they always gravitate back to nobody loved me, nobody cared. That's still no excuse for you not to love yourself. I hear them, and it just really, I listen to it, but sometimes it's so grievous to hear a woman 50 years old talking. I can see a 2 year old, 3 year old, 4 year old, but a woman 50 after she done everything she want to do, been everywhere she want to do her thing. She's been doing things out of disobedience or he, and say nobody loves me, nobody care. I'm sure that when trauma come in your life, anyone would feel like that. Nobody loves them, nobody care, but you still have breath in your body. You got to care about you. You got to have some what the world is calling self-care, self-concerns, self-readiness, self-awareness, self-knowledge, self studying the word. You have to take the initiative to do this. So, hey, I'm not saying living is easy, but I'm saying you can do it with your self-love. Living every day, it takes hard work, but we all have to do it. A lot of people oftentimes they'll look at someone else and they'll say she or he has it easy. But when I look at people, I say they have that get up. They have that tenacity. They have something inside. You can't just rely on your own self tonight. You have to rely on your spiritual man, on the knowledge that you have, application mostly to the spirit of the living God. Yes, I don't want to get churchy. I don't want to get churchy. I'm just trying to get you all to think that we don't do this every day by ourselves. There is help. And I'm telling you, what I love about human life is when people see you are trying to accomplish, you're trying to get there, they are compassionate. Sometimes I'm driving. I wish life was as simple as you could give a person, a stranger, a ride. We know we can't do that. But in our hearts, the compassion goes so far. You wish you could do that. So don't ever think people don't care, people's not concerned. A lot of us want what happens for us to happen for others. We want there are those people with that crab mentality, but don't let them stop you. You can do the thing. Failure, sexual abuse is not your failure. Quitting is your failure. That was an experience that you made it through, and you have to remind yourself that there's something else on the other side. Let's talk a little bit about success. What does it mean to be successful? When do you achieve success? Where is your success? I hate to see someone that is doing so well and one thing come along and take them all the way back. Have you ever had anything like that in your life? It's like you've on your journey and you're doing really, really well. And then one thing, one person, one interruption. It could be a car accident. It could be the dog run away. And it takes you all the way back to that same experience of failure. But I come to tell you, no excuses. We cannot have excuses, man. There's no excuse for none of us. We can do this thing. Success, the achievement of a desired plan, attempt, hard work. It's the achievement of a desire. Some people were born into, it seemed like a easy life. We thought the prince and Megan was born into an easy life, but see what we think, because we're on the outside, all those riches, all that silver ain't gold. We think it's easy, but even them, they have to deal with failures. They have to deal with trauma. We don't know what's going on in other people's lives. I don't even want to get into this comparing thing because that's a lot of our problem. Nobody loves me. Love yourself. Love myself. I told my husband and my son the other day, I said, okay, it looks like there ain't no little kitties running around here. I think I'm going to have to get a Yorkie. Anybody got a Yorkie out there that they don't want, that you're about to let run away? I think it's time for me to get my Yorkie. I'm feeling a little bit of children's loneliness. You know, everybody's busy doing their own things, doing their life. So It's just makes me feel good. What do you all think? You all think he should get me a Yorkie? I'm so kind. And he would be successful. I would deem him successful. Okay, how do you measure success? All of us have. Anthony, don't start that interrupting my flow with that writings and stuff that you, because I don't do that on Sundays. I'm always putting hand. I got something for you. I'm gonna send you the devil on your on Sunday morning. Now you see the devil pop up. Okay, okay. You see some cuss words. You gonna know who it's from. I'm gonna be incognito. Yeah, he's messing with me. You're supposed to be the opposite. You supposed to say whatever you want, But y'all always now y'all know a girl know how to get the dog up in here. You know that. I'm successful at influence. I'm a good influencer. Listen. So how do you measure success? I measure success by our hard work. Most of us measure success according to what? Material things, social status, or according to our popularity. I don't want to be popular. I would just like health and wealth. Some of us can we measure success by how well we look. We don't, and how maybe how we work out, and what we achieve there. We measure success by our prosperities. We measure success by our degrees, our trophies, our trophy wives, our trophy husband. People measure success according. Honey, they don't even like the girl. But if she fine, I'm just gonna get me a fine wife, and I'm gonna bring her around the boys. The men, they measure success by who has the biggest trucks and the shoe game. Everybody has a different. Pardon? Oh, I thought you was talking to me. Everybody have different. I mean, we measure success by how many DDs and PhD degrees, and how some people measure success by how many titles. I'm the bishop. I'm the superintendent, and I'm the first this and the second this. So all of us have a mental picture of what we believe success is. But I want you to know that most of us are already successful. When I left the west side of Chicago, honey, I was successful. Getting out of there with two legs, two arms, and two eyes, I was successful. And then when I went on to get my GED, I was successful. Then when I went to college to get my associates, so I measure success as achieving the things that was taken from me. I thought I'd never get to go to prom, so I made sure I got me the biggest gown one day when I was grown, and I'm still doing it today. Our last anniversary when we didn't have COVID, our last anniversary when we didn't have COVID, I got the biggest gown on and went out, because in my mind that's being successful. What does your success look like? What does it take for you to view yourself as being successful? You've already overcome. If you are not dead, we overcome the victimization of being raped, molested, and so on. We've overcome that. So let's measure our success more according to our obstacles that we have overcome. How about measuring it like that? You've gotten over that. Your body is healed. Your mind is healed. Now let's heal your spirit so you can move forward. And I come to tell you, you're already successful. So many of you, you're already successful. Um, there are many, many ways to achieve success during our lifetime. Self care is important. And I'm not talking about having hair all the way down to your feet. I'm not just talking about getting manicures, but I'm talking about just taking care of your mental health, loving yourself, the words that come through your mouth. Stop saying nobody loves you. Start saying I love myself and so does God love you. It listen, there's no excuse, but it is understandable that you feel some kind of way about life. I hear people when they get in these low levels, and you know how we get in these pity parties, and I try very hard not to. That's why I'm trying to get this Yorkie before I go, digress. But when we get in these pity parties, we just go there and say, "Oh, my life has always been bad. It's always been rough. I remember I got my toe cut, and I remember they cut my hair off, and I remember so many bad things happened." And truly, so many bad things did happen. But look at me now. Look at me now, and that's what you have to do. Um, do you measure success by comparing yourself to others? Absolutely not, and never. We should have admiration for other people's success, but never compare ourselves. Why is that, guys? Since y'all have so much to say, why shouldn't we compare ourselves to other people's success?
Because we should never measure our success compared to others because what they have accomplished or going through is allotted to their life. And so one person's success is handcrafted for their life. I'm not supposed to be successful in what Broderick is successful in.
Okay.
So the only way you can truly measure your success personally is if you have another copy of yourself because you're the only you exist. So you have to
Now
keep
that's
yourself.
deep. That's deep. You always go there, deep, deep. What about you, Broderick? How do you feel?
What was the question
Do
again?
you measure success by comparing ourselves to others?
No, because you're your own purse. You're your own. You're supposed to be original.
Yeah.
So when you try to compare yourself to others and other success, you don't know what they may have been through to get to where they are now. So you can't get there because sometimes you get frustrated because why you can't be that or do that. You can aspire to be certain things of success of people or leadership or positions, but um, you have to be your own, your own original. So I think sometimes we try to do that in life, and we want to be like this person, that person, or when people see things on, reality TV and all those things, and they really think, I want to have that house and all that stuff, but a lot of times they rented that house, but you thinking, you know, that's their house. But so you just want to be your own authentic self.
Wow, that is so true. And guess what? You got to pay the cost to be you. Everybody have to pay the cost to be yourself, but I also believe the reason we can't compare ourselves, you don't know if that person had to kill somebody to get where they are. You don't know where they started from. You don't know. You don't know where they started in life. I started in Detroit. Somebody else started in Mississippi. Somebody else started in London. You don't know their story. So don't try to glorify. All of us, listen, the reason you don't have to compare yourself, I don't care from whoever you think is great, whoever you have on these high pedestals, you better know they got a story. You better know they have experienced pain. I know doctors, professionals, they've all experienced pain. I have a friend, her husband is he's a heart surgeon, and she's a gynecologist. She delivered a baby one day. And do you know that she just got so depressed and started talking about, I think I'm having a heart attack. Wasn't nothing wrong with her but fear. But she had all these degrees. They have a big house, but she was running around here like a crazy woman. Why? Because she didn't really understand the value of knowing that. it's going to take more than her degrees to get through the realities of life or the challenges of life. So whether we have degrees, money, sometimes that doesn't get us over. So you don't know to the other side where we're trying to go. You don't know where people start. So don't compare yourself, especially in a degrading place. Don't put yourself down because guess what? Being success means you have reached your desired goal. I have reached so many of my desired goals. I have seen so many of my visions come to pass. Even though we don't have a beautiful church building, which I would love to, but we had such great success in that place and seeing people lives maintained, seeing marriages stay together. There was success teaching people about the spirit of the Lord. There was success. So believe me, keep your vision and your the way your outlook, you should be growing and it should be changing every day. Nothing stays the same. Everything must change. I'm going to read a little bit from my book before I close. But what keeps me going also is passion. You got to be passionate about life, about you. About you. Stop making excuses. Stop talking about my husband don't like me. My go for a walk then. Stop making excuses. My wife this and um you know, I thought having a marriage and getting the divorce the first time made me feel like a failure. I felt such a failure because I thought I was doing the right thing. But it was not working. It was not working in my life, so I had to move forward. But that doesn't mean that I'm a failure. Some things just don't work. But be passionate. Make sure you have discipline in your life. You have to have discipline. Just because you've been sexual abused is no excuse. And you have to have skill. Perfect what that you know and grow from there. And guess what? No investment, no advancement. That's what my mentor Stacia Pierce always say to us. No investment, no advancement. You have to invest in yourself. If you want to learn how to do a thing, find you some professionals, some experts at that, and go do the thing. You can do the thing. Being at the right place at the right time. So you got to get out of those four walls, get out of depression, get out of the windows closed. Open up the windows and let the air come in. Let life come in. Listen, your next level of success, let's plan it. Plan it out. Make a vision board. You can do it. And that's what I have to say. So, did I do my questions? It seemed like I skipped right over my questions. Is it understandable that you are sexually abused? You may not. Okay, here's one question. Is it understandable that when you are sexual abused, you may not be a high achiever? It's understandable, but it's not excusable. You can achieve anything anyone else can if you get yourselves together. I had another question. I think I just kind of flowed through them. Okay, so I'm going to read you through this great book, just a paragraph or two on page 87. Do you all have your books with you tonight? Flow with me, flow with me. On page 87, this book is not just for entertainment. This book will help you to watch for your children. It'll help you to pray for those that surround you. It'll give you insight. It'll give you discernment. It'll help you to be protective. Because some of us is just in these, we're still allowing, you seeing people saying their cousins, their brothers, their uncles, and we're still allowing our innocent children in their presence saying, not me. You can't say that in this world we live in today. The spirit is real strong and heavy to really stifle our children. So use this book as a tool to help you see some things that maybe you hadn't paid attention and not feel guilty and not feel ashamed. On page 87, I mean, I have had so many even little trauma, but the Bible says the little foxes that destroys the vine. I had little traumas. I remember coming. We lived in an orphanage where we sat down at table just like on Annie, and we sat all at the table every morning at a certain time. It was just like prison, really. But we had oatmeal, and I couldn't stand oatmeal. I couldn't stand wheat and what is that? Cream of wheat. Oh my God. Please don't give me. I don't have flashbacks about it, but I couldn't stand cream of wheat. And then they put raisins in it. And then guess what we had for lunch every day? Mushroom soup. Now, what kids want some plain mushroom soup? No seasoning salt. Not the black people kind, the white people kind. Soup straight out the can. Honey, please. But listen, here we go. Although we were in the midst of strangers, we were grateful with a sense of security. We didn't know where we would end up or what was the next step to our foster care placement would be. But after a month or so, Mama still hadn't showed up. We continued to attend school and adjust to our new life, and in our minds, we were doing just fine. One day, when I returned to the orphanage from school, all the girls' hair was cut off. And I was like, I don't want my hair cut off. Now, that's some trauma. When I asked, why are all the girls' hair cut off? Miss Mary, and that was her name too, Mary, the staff member, nonchalantly said, we don't know what to do with it with the stuff, right? It will be more manageable this way. Most of the women who worked at the orphanage were white and they had no idea how to care for African American hair. Our hair required conditioning and daily maintenance. Sometimes my mother knew how to do something my mother knew how to do very well. I begged Miss Mary not to cut my hair off. The neighborhood children would surely make fun of my new short hair. Miss Mary promised me that she wouldn't cut my hair as short as the other girls, although I never considered my hair problems. Her justification was firm. It would be easier to manage if it was cut a little lower. All the girls seemed to get over their haircuts eventually. You know, kids, we just come back and we survive and we go on. And we realized that the orphanage wasn't bad at all. Actually, it was rather peaceful. The children got along pretty well, and there were no domestic violence or sexual abuse occurring there. All of us were from different backgrounds, but had experienced similar dysfunction, so we related to each other. Listen, that was traumatic, but that didn't stop me from being passionate about life. It didn't stop me from being passionate. I'm a cosmetologist today. It didn't stop me about taking something that was traumatic and making something good out of it. And that's what I want to say to you. There's no excuse. Make your experience something good. Do it for yourself, do it for someone else, do it for your community, because there is someone that wants to live. They might just need a little pull. And even some of you advocates, don't stay there and continue to pull and push. They're gonna have to have some good get up. You one water, one plant, but God gives increase. So you water, plant, and you keep life moving until they get to that place of maturity where they want to live. So there's no excuse and there's no more shame. Thank you for watching tonight. I'm so excited. I'm so appreciative of these guys here in the studio. I'm so appreciative of you, and our work is done here tonight. Be encouraged. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And hey, sing that song. Why should I be ashamed? I mean, it just really lifts you up. It really I mean, think about it. Get some new words flowing through your um repertoire. Get some new words. Define yourself in a divine way. Know that you're valuable. Know your worth. And it has nothing to do with how much money you spend or how much money you bring in or your social status or how many DDS, how many doctor's degrees you have. It's all about what's on the inside that comes out on the inside and how you treat yourself and how you treat others. You hear that? Uh-oh. been through. I like that beat. Why should I? It's a shame. It's a shame the way they hurt me. Bye bye. The way they hurt me, but I had to get through and tell my story and get my victory and give God the glory. Give God the glory.